say that I always wanted to be a stand-up comic, but I didn't like the hours or the pay. I thought I was pretty funny, and frankly speaking, I had a lot of fans. You would often find me on a couch in a party with people around me, and they were laughing a lot. So I decided to call myself the sit-down comic. The origin of my funny bone comes from my mother. Needless to say, when I was growing up, I did not think she was funny. And hot off the press, my twins do not think I'm funny. Yet. I always remember that my mother just did whatever she had to do, and somehow or other, it could turn into something very funny. Now, I will say with my twins, the one time they do think I am funny is when we're walking along the sidewalk and my shoe always happens to find that one uneven part of the pavement, and boom! I either fall forward or, in fact, I often fall down. Then they are laughing, as we say in Spanish, con carcajadas. They are high-fiving each other. They are high-fiving strangers. I have only one word for that. Desgraciados. On my journey of trying to be funny, I remembered that my mother and I now believe in the power of the index finger. When she was driving, anytime something would catch her attention, the finger would go up. And it didn't really have a rhyme or reason. Sometimes it was 2 to the left and then 1 to the right. Sometimes it was right, left, right. It didn't matter. And now I do the same thing when I drive. The other thing about the index finger is I have found it's a very useful tool, especially if you're a little shorter, to kind of point things out. But my daughter is always telling me, "Mommy, that is rude." Again and again and again. Frankly, I think her telling me that is rude. Why? Because when I use my finger, I am usually pointing at something. I am not pointing at someone. Nevertheless, that's how she feels about what I do. Now, I will say the one time I did try to give somebody the other finger, it went something like this. I am driving and I really couldn't get the other one up. So I quit that opportunity, and I've decided that's not going to be my path. In looking in this journey of being funny, one of the things that they often tell you to do is to make fun of your spouse or your partner. Those jokes kind of make me cringe. Let me tell you one. I was happy for 25 years, and then I met my husband. I'm just like, that didn't work for me. So I kept exploring, how is it that you can be funny on purpose? The next thing that they tell you to do is to make fun of yourself. Really? I have been through therapy, I have been doing journey work, I have looked in my mirror and said, I like myself, I really like myself. And now I have to put myself down? Maybe if I was Michael Phelps and I was over 6 feet tall and had blonde hair and was a man, and I could swing my 500 million medals on my finger and then say, oh, it was nothing. That might work. But I am a silver fox Latina. I get deprecated on all the time. Some days it feels like there is a flock of seagulls circling around me, trying to make my hair whiter than it already is. Just the other day at the gym, I was finishing up my third set, raising my 17.5 barbell, and a man came over to me and said, "You're making us look bad, doll." And I thought, do you not see what I have in my hand? Do you not see the angle that I have here? But I kept my cool, put my weight down, and I walked away. What he didn't know is that when my sister and I were teenagers, we looked up the definition of doll. Anybody know what it is? Stuffed idiot. And after that, every time my sister or I annoyed each other, the other one was sure to say, "You're such a doll." And only we knew what we were really saying. I have found a bonanza of opportunities in terms of how to be funny. But at this point, I've decided to put being funny on purpose on hold. But I have 3 takeaways. One, I am going to embrace being funny like my mother. It's a way to keep her memory alive, and it also will continue to drive my twins crazy. I remember the day when I annoyed her so much, and she looked at me and said, "Oh, Linda, suck it to you!" And I'm telling you, that beautiful bilingual insult made me laugh. And if there had been strangers around, I would have been high-fiving them. So I have a lot of compassion for my children. The second reason that I will continue to be funny is that over the years I have been funny both in work and in my life. And I have found that it lifts and lightens things that are heavy, and it opens up space for us to learn from our foibles and from the foibles of others. Finally, I am going to continue to be funny because it's my nature. It just comes out of me. It's naturally who I am, and that's a really important thing for all of us as we go through life, to find our particular kind of funny. So if you ever are having a party, I will not be a stand-up comic for your party. However, if you have a comfy couch and you really want to have some funny at your party, you know who to call.